The red and white school. Long ago, in a small town in eastern Nigeria, there was a primary school that everyone loved. From far away, you could spot the children in their neat red and white uniforms. The boys wore white short sleeved shirts, tucked neatly into their bright red shorts, their sandals slapped against the dusty ground as they ran. The girls wore white blouses under clean red pinafores, their hair carefully braided with colorful beads and ribbons. Together, they made the schoolyard look like a garden of red and white flowers. Every morning, as soon as the school bell rang, children hurried into their classrooms to drop their bags. But they didn't stay there for long. Another bell rang, calling everyone outside for morning assembly. The pupils poured out to form lines, each class forming its own row, class A through J. They stood facing their teachers, who stood tall and watchful at the front. The headmaster gave a nod, and the morning began. Prayers were said, hands folded, heads bowed. Then, with voices strong and clear, the children rose to sing the national anthem, their voices blending and rising into the morning air. After the anthem came the national pledge, right hands placed firmly on their chests. They recited in unison, promising loyalty and service to their country. After that came the reminders of the day: homework to be done, uniforms to be kept clean, and the importance of good behavior. Afterwards, the children's voices filled the air with the marching song. We are young boys, we are young girls, we are young boys, we are young girls. Oh, come along, boys, girls, come along. Oh, come along, boys, girls, come along. Oh, come along, boys, girls, come along. We are marching along. Their feet moved in rhythm, left, right, left, right, as they marched proudly back to their classrooms. Laughter bubbling in the air as they returned to their different classrooms to begin their learning. Inside, the teachers wrote on the blackboard with chalk, and the air smelled faintly of dust and learning. Pupils scribbled in their exercise books, some neat, some messy. When the teacher asked questions, the keen students waved their hands eagerly calling out, "Teacher! Teacher!" while others sat quietly, hoping not to be noticed. Sometimes, a teacher gave an unannounced test. The prepared students always scaled through, writing quickly with confidence, while the unprepared ones stretched their necks, trying to copy from others. The watchful teachers often caught them, but that never stopped their attempts. At midday, the school bell rang again. Clang! This was everyone's favorite time. Recess. Children burst out of their classrooms like birds escaping a cage. The boys dashed to the field. Some kicked a football, chasing it with all their energy. Others played catch me if you can, running in circles, dust rising behind their feet. A few tried daring high jumps, cheering whenever someone landed safely. The girls filled the playground with their own fun. Some clapped and played Oga, a hand reading game, while others hopped about in swell. Small groups of girls formed circles, whispering secrets and giggling. Sometimes little quarrels sparked, especially among the popular girls, who always wanted others to say sorry to them, even when they were the ones at fault. Not everyone spent recess playing. Many students headed straight to the toilets to ease themselves. The long row of cement stalls was always busy. Some children even sneaked to the back of the toilet building to relieve themselves on the sandy ground. The smell that drifted from there was so strong that most pupils stayed far away, avoiding games near the area. Near the school gates, food vendors waited with their trays and coolers. The smell of warm puff puff floated through the air. Boys and girls lined up with their coins and small bills. The vendors had many treats to tempt hungry children. There was the colorful watercolor ice cream, tied and frozen in a clear nylon bag, and melts quickly under the sun. Some preferred Wall's ice cream, neatly wrapped and creamy. Others went for steaming agidi jollof, wrapped in green leaves. And the best part of it was always the chewy biscuit bony meat inside, called okpukpo agidi, which every child hunted for eagerly. Beside these, another favorite was odobiri ofochie, a fried pastry snack. Many students enjoyed it in a special way, sprinkling a little of the melted watercolor ice cream onto it, making it strangely mouth savoring. Those with bigger nose often had more friends tagging along. Everyone wanted to share a piece of puff puff, a scoop of ice cream, or a portion of agidi jollof. Some bought udara with its sticky sweetness that never stained the lips, or icheku, dark and velvety, with smooth seeds inside. The tangy taste of icheku made mouths pucker delightfully, but too much licking often left some children with little mouth sores by the next day. Children laughed, traded bites of food, and formed mini gangs of friends, each group holding onto their treasures like little kings and queens. When the bell rang again after recess, everyone sighed, but slowly returned to class. The football was left rolling in the field. Half finished games of Fuga were abandoned, and girls carrying puff puff and udara quickly stuffed the last bite into their mouths before rushing inside. The classrooms grew quiet again as teachers continued their lessons. Chalk tapped against the blackboard, and children copied notes into their exercise books. Some students, still tired from running, rested their heads on their desk, while others whispered to their friends when the teacher wasn't looking. The afternoon sun streamed through the windows, making the air warm and heavy. At last, the final bell of the day rang out. Clang! At the sound, students excitedly jumped off their seats and began packing up. Books were closed with a bang. Pencils and erasers rolled into small bags, and chatter filled the room. But before anyone could run off, the teachers led the children in the closing prayer, usually a prayer song that floated softly through the air. They sang excitedly. Now the day is over, night is drawing near. Shadow of the evening still across the sky. Voices blended gently, the busy day coming to a calm and reverent end. When the song was finished, the teacher raised their voice and shouted, "School dismiss!" And with joy bursting from their throats, the children thundered back, "Away!" The room exploded with movement. Children raced out of the classrooms, some still zipping their bags as they ran. At the school gate, different scenes unfolded. Some children had drivers waiting with shiny cars, ready to whisk them away. Others saw their parents waiting patiently, waving as their children rushed into their arms. Many formed small groups of friends and trekked home together, chattering and laughing along the dusty road, kicking stones and sharing day's stories. The red and white uniforms scattered into town, filling the streets with energy until the schoolyard stood quiet once more. And so, another day at the red and white school came to an end, a day of prayers, songs, lessons, play, quarrels, and laughter, all woven into the simple, joyful life of children.